All right, everyone, welcome back to the second half, Marcel, of Monday's podcast here. It's your host, as always, Adam Martin, Norman Big Marcel, Monday, March 6, 2023, MMAOB Daily Podcast. This is the UFC Las Vegas Preview Show. This is Ariane, Merab, Dvalishvili, called UFC Las Vegas, Marcel, not UFC Vegas 71, UFC Las Vegas. I had to go back and redo all my articles today and change the name of it. But yeah, anyways, you excited about this card, Marcel? Your thoughts on this one? I think you got 14 fights. What do you think?
It's a fun card, man. It's actually a fun card, probably because it is in front of a crowd, So, and they only did this at the theater in the Virgin Hotels because they have the Power Slap and the Apex right after it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got a preview Power Slap after. No, I'm just joking. I know you hate that.
You're on your own. You're on your own.
He hates it. Glenn Marcel has Leon Murphy got an opponent. No,
not yet.
That's for next week, Marcel.
Yeah,
England. Is it next week?
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. He's really snuck up on us. Solid card. Yeah, it's good. Antoine likes the card. I like it too. I think it's a good card. All right, let's just get into it, man. Why waste any time here, guys? First fight of the night, Marcel. We got Tyson Nam taking on Bruno Silva in the flyweight division. And I said because Abubakar Nurmagomedov is off the card with Carlson Harris. That fight's canceled, right, Marcel?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So the new first fight of the night, we got Tyson Nam and Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva, the flyweight Bruno Silva, because there's two of them in the UFC. Minus 200, Tyson Nam plus 165. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Tyson Nam had a good knockout last time out against Ode Osborne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Decent fighter, and he got some weird ass wins on his record, And weird ass, I mean, really good, like Ali Bagautinov with a knockout, Eduardo Dantas back when I think he was Bellator champion. So if you look at Bruno Silva, had a really rough start coming into the UFC, 2 losses. Actually 3. He actually had 3, but no contest over Kalitaha, right? But that's 2 good wins lately against JP Buys and against Victor Rodriguez. Gotta say, likely not against the highest ceiling guys, in the division, but he looked good against them. I think he still trains with Henry, right? Henry is his guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking Silva here. I think he gets a decision, but I think it will be a fun fight, dude. 125. Both guys are like to attack, so yeah, like to fight.
I think he wins too. That's my pick too. Bruno Silva. Like, he hasn't fought in a while, right? It's been almost 2 years, which is crazy, but he was looking great, man, before he had the layoff. The wins over Bays or Bays, I should say, Rodriguez. And I understand those guys are not ranked at all. They're actually 2 of the worst guys, but he was looking good. And the thing is, even his losses were pretty competitive fights. Like that fight with Bekov was competitive. He's not a bad fighter, I don't think. He's not bad. Nam is good too. I mean, the guy's still strong. He's 39. He's turning 40 this year, and he's got 3-3 record in the UFC. But, Marcel, if he doesn't get the knockout, I think he'll struggle a little bit here. He's got a puncher's chance. We've seen that knockout power multiple times with him in the UFC. But I just feel like Silva, is a lot younger, obviously. And as long as there's no layoff issues, which is always a worry after 2 years away, I think he'll win the fight. So Bruno Silva, probably decision. I think he also has a chance to win by knockout, obviously. But I think he wins the fight, Marcel. A couple of comments here. West Coast loves Power Slap. I have been watching the knockouts as well. There were some good ones. But will I buy the pay-per-view? No, but maybe I'll find a way to watch some of the slaps. Ethan posted a weird fight streak stat for who?
Yeah,
Merab.
Jan, here, look, 7-fight win streak for.
What the hell? But there was but that was a while ago.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird. Welcome back, gentlemen. Yes, sir. Crazy. Should he Nurmagomedov? I think he could have won that fight. He was the underdog though. Carlson getting a short notice placement. I don't think so, right?
Doesn't look like it.
It's so short notice, man. Anyways, let's go to the next fight here. We got Victor Henry taking on Tony Gravely. I think I'm saying his name right finally. Never know if it's Gravely or Gravely. Victor Henry. It's crazy, right? So his debut against Barcelos, he was plus 400. Now against Assuncao, he's minus 400 loss. And now he's still a favorite, minus 150, taking on Tony Gravely by plus 125. What do you think about this one, Marcel? You got Gravely as an underdog here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not picking Henry, dude. After that last fight, I can't pick him. I think he looked really good against Leone Barcelos, But I think also that Leone Barcelos didn't expect him to look that good, So, and against Assuncao, I think he looked really bad, to be really honest. And Gravely is the kind of guy who is somewhere under the top 20, top 25, under there. But he can give a decent fight to many guys, that's what I feel. And he lost to Javid Basharat, but I don't see there. That's not any, how do you say that? There is no, I don't get the word right now, in it.
Shame?
It's shame in it, yeah, to lose to Javid.
Yeah,
You got losses to Nate Maness in a fight. The first round, he almost finished Nate Maness, and a super competitive fight against Brad Johns. All the other fights he won in the UFC. So for me, it's like I like Gravely a lot. I'm picking Gravely here, man. I think he does it by decision.
Yeah, Marcel, I'm with you on this one. I'm actually going to pick Gravely too. I just can't pick Henry. I'm with you guys. Like, he looked so bad in the last fight, and it's actually really interesting because obviously massive underdog. There's a huge overreaction to that performance where he looked great, obviously, in his debut. He looks terrible against Assuncao. He's like 40 years old himself and, is on the losing skid, and Henry gets dominated pretty much in that fight. Gravely, I know his record's not, like, pristine. He's 3-3, but, like you said, Marcel, like, the guys he lost to are pretty good. And, even Basharat, like, that was a competitive fight. It was not one-sided. It was a competitive fight, 29-28. I think he's pretty solid, man. He's obviously got some power, too. He's got the wrestling. If it's just a stand-up fight, he could be in trouble here. But I feel like he's going to wrestle Marcel. Assuncao took down Henry twice. Marcel's got him down. I think Gravely's going to mix in a lot of wrestling in this fight and win the fight that way. So, consensus underdog, Marcel. We'll see if this one pays off. We're kind of been inconsistent with them. We had Blake Builder a few weeks ago, and then we had Arujo last week that lost. But let's hope we get back on the winning ways here, Marcel, with the consensus dog. And this week, it looks like it's going to be Tony Gravely, at least one of the consensus dogs. Couple comments. Knox says Henry looked terrible. He did in his last fight. Do you guys think any top 5 bandwidth beats Umar? I don't know. I have to look at it more, Antoine. But I mean, Umar's really good. Saeed's good too. He's fighting on this card, but Umar's even better. Can't bet Henry Chalk again. Completely agree, George. Completely agree, my friend. All right, Marcel, that's the third fight of the night. Let's go to the next fight. Sorry, that's the second fight of the night because we had that fight canceled. UFC Stats still has it listed, by the way, at Bubakar. You got to take it off. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We got JJ Aldrich taking on Ariane Lipski, the Queen of Violence. Odds for this one. JJ Aldrich's a huge favorite. Now, she wasn't I was actually looking at the odds yesterday. She was like minus 225. And I'm like, holy shit, there's like a ton of value. Now it's minus 375. And Lipski's plus 280. Now, I'll start this one, Marcel. Despite being a 4-1 favorite, I still think she wins. I think, this is not a bad bet because she is so underrated. Like, guys, like, you look at what she did to Blanchfield now, it looks great in hindsight, doesn't it, Marcel? Wins the first round, winning the whole fight, and then gets choked out. I get it, but she's good. And in her UFC career, 7-3 record, guys, all her wins are by decision. We know she's got good cardio. Not a lot of finishing ability, but Ariane Lipski's just so flawed, man. She has looked bad in the UFC. 3-4 record, 3 knockout losses. She's looked bad. Other than really that knee bar against Carolina, she has not looked good at all. She beat Mandy Boehm, but Mandy Boehm is terrible. Gets knocked out by Cachoeira. Even like not finished by De La Rosa, who never finishes anywhere. Even Shevchenko finished her, for God's sakes. I can't pick Ariane Lipski, Marcel. I think she's looked terrible in the UFC. Honestly. Aldrich is super underrated. I absolutely think she wins this fight. All her wins are by decision. I would assume that. But if there's any fight where she'll get a finish, it could be this one. Maybe she gets on the ground, grounds and pounds her, trains in a great camp. She's an underrated fighter. I absolutely think she wins this fight, Marcel. So the odds are high, but I think it's understandable. JJ Aldrich for me all day. What do you think?
Yeah, another beautiful Brazilian girl, by the way, against JJ Aldrich. I think we talked about this fight before, man, with the fight announcements. I think JJ Aldrich is really underrated girl, and I think Ariane Lipski, no disrespect, is kind of a little bit overrated, by many fans. And that's nothing to do with her fight, how she fights, but how she looks. Yeah, JJ Aldrich is the better fighter, and she's going to win this fight, dude. It's, in my opinion, one of the more confident picks of the card for me. I take her by unanimous decision. I think she pretty much probably wins all 3 rounds. So, yeah.
I think so too, Marcel. And I think with Lipski, it's like because of how she looked in KSW all those years ago, she's the Queen of Violence, and she is obviously a good-looking chick, but to me, hasn't not performed up to the expectations of the UFC, in my opinion, Marcel.
Yeah,
I don't think so. And again, getting finished by like De La Rosa and like Cachoeira and Shevchenko, that's not a good look, Marcel. I'll tell you that right now. So, she's not bad, but against like a really low-ranked fighter like a Bomb, but I think Aldrich is good. She's not ranked, but like she could be. Again, gave a really good fight with Aaron Blanchfield last year. All right, let's go to the
Whereas
next fight.
that girl actually that fought Lipski. What's her name? The Padua or something?
Yeah.
What happened to her?
I think she fought once and tested positive, maybe. I think so.
Okay.
The Padua. Let's see here. USADA. Let me check. Yeah, suspended 2 years for USADA. So yeah, juicer. Anyways, let's go to the next fight here, Marcel. We got Mario Bautista taking on Guido Cannetti. These odds, Marcel, what do you think of these odds? Minus 1,000 for Mario Bautista, plus 625 for Guido. I mean, is it off though? Like, how does Guido win the fight? Like, I think Bautista finishes him. Honestly, what do you think?
You got to tell me how you got from a 3-fight win streak where you defeat, for example, a Brian Kelleher, go to a Guido Cannetti. I don't get it, you know. I know Guido won his last two fights in the first round, but he defeat Chris Moutinho, which I don't really rank, and Randy Costa. Randy Costa is a good fighter, but he has really some issues with his cardio, you know. And this was, by the way, early, so he got pretty much surprised by Guido. Guido is tough for his age, you know. Got to give it to him, 43, you know, and still going strong. 2-fight win streak. Got in a close fight with Mana Martinez before, which could have been a 3-fight win streak. He was close to it. I still think Mario Bautista, man. I think Bautista is really good. He got that one flaw in the UFC against Trevin Jones where he got knocked out. I know he lost to Santhagen, but it was pretty much his debut on short notice, so I don't really rate that one. Yeah, Bautista wins this fight. I think he submits him, man. Maybe in the first or second round.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't really see how Guido wins the fight, but that's just me. All right, let's go to the next fight, Marcel. We got Sedriques Dumas taking on Josh Fremd in the middleweight division. Josh Fremd, I think, took the fight on short notice. Dumas is the favorite here, Marcel, minus 185. Josh Fremd plus 150. Are you picking the guy who asked for money for interviews? Is that your pick?
I actually saw an interview of his.
He did one with Mills and didn't charge him.
Yeah, I saw an interview, and he's like, I'm in my training camp, and he's going to ask me to come on that late. I'm trying to get some money out of it. So, yeah, I think he wins, man, to be really honest. You know, I like Sedriques, actually, what I saw. It was a short fight, right, in the Contender Series against Matej Penas, who came from Glory Kickboxing. I think he's like, man, Sedriques is kind of like the typical kind of street fighter, in my opinion, you know, kind of crazy. Looks kind of crazy. But I like how he fights, you know. But he's still like really. I feel like he's young. He's 27, right? He got some experience in MMA for some years, but still, I feel like he's still a little bit inexperienced. You know what I mean? So fighting Josh Fremd, man, I picked Josh Fremd to win against Tresean Gore, and he got choked the fuck out with a really real choke. Remember, before that lost to Anthony Hernandez, which is possible. You know, can happen. Fremd is not a bad fighter, but I'm here on Sedriques Dumas. I think he puts him away in the first round, to be really honest.
I think he wins too. I think he probably submits him too, honestly. Yeah, I don't. Josh Fremd's not really UFC caliber, Marcel. His ground game is not good, so I think he gets submitted. Why is the fight happening? I think it was short notice, right? Oh, he's talking about the last fight. Sorry, guys. Bautista, yeah, I mean, that fight is so bizarre. Bisping sent his payment for the post-fight interview. That's funny. All right, we got the same pick there, Marcel. Let's go to the next one here. We got Raphael Assuncao taking on Davey Grant. This is a fun fight, Marcel. Davey Grant's always in fun fights. He's the favorite, minus 145. Assuncao plus 120. Your pick.
Although Assuncao looked really good against Victor Henry last time, I don't feel comfortable picking him here in this fight, man. I think Davey Grant is really smart to get into this fight. Was supposed to be Assuncao against Kyler Phillips, right? Grant took the fight on short notice. I think a really smart decision by him. Grant is kind of a fighter who looks really good against a lot of fighters, and when he fights the more better fighters, he is competitive with them, but he loses those fights, like against Adrian Yanez in the second fight against Vera. I still think Grant wins this fight, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he stops from late TKO in the third round for the guy from England. He is the former how do you say that, runner-up from the Ultimate Fighter, right? So yeah, I like Grant a lot. I think Grant wins here, TKO third round.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like him too, Marcel. I also think he wins the fight. I think it's a fun fight. I think it'll be exciting. You know, Davey Grant's always in good fights, but I think he's just a better former now. I know Assuncao looked good against Henry. Obviously, looked really good in that fight, but still not completely sold on him at this point in his career. I think he's like 40 now, right? So Grant's to me a little bit hotter. Now the interesting thing is like almost all of Grant's wins are by knockout in the UFC, but Assuncao's pretty durable. I know he's been knocked out by like Simone and Cody, but taking a decision. But it's possible Grant could knock him out. It's possible. Yeah, it's kind of like Stevie Gray and knockout. It's possible, man. The Yanez fight was close. I thought that Yanez one was close. Gray probably knocks out Assuncao. I think it's possible. Sedriques, Masvidal type street fighter, fought an icon, represented by Masvidal. Yeah, he's with Malky Kawa and the Kawa brothers. All right, let's get to the next fight, guys. We got Karl Williams taking on Lukasz Brzeski. Marcel light heavyweight division. Odds for this one. We have Karl Williams minus 200 in his debut against Brzeski plus 165. What do you think with this fight? These odds? Your thoughts?
Yeah, Brzeski, man, he fought Martin Boudet in his debut, and I think he got robbed in that fight, to be really honest.
I thought he won too. I really did. I was thinking about that fight today. He won for sure.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was super surprised he lost that fight, to be honest. And before that, I mean, I think Brzeski's not that bad. You know, if you look at Karl Williams, for example, he got that win over Jimmy Lawson. That guy got hyped a lot with his wrestling, remember? And then Karl Williams won the fight. I feel like really low-level heavyweight fight here again. Brzeski probably wins decision for me. I don't know.
Yeah, you think so? Okay, well,
yeah,
I think it's definitely close.
Yeah, it is.
I got to be honest, though, like, Williams doesn't have a lot of experience, right? He's only got 8 fights, and he's actually 32 years old, but I think he's got potential, man. I mean, against that Jimmy Lawson guy who's like a really high-level wrestler, he could not get him down, and then he took him down a bunch, showed really good cardio, good ground game. I was actually kind of impressed for a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience, and he is from the PFL, so he fought there. I think he's got some potential in the sport. He's 33 years old, I should say. He's not even 32, he's 33 because his birthday was in January. Marcel, I'll go with Karl Williams. Not just PFL and UFC contender. He's also fought XMMA, which is a decent promotion on the regional scene. Icon FC, Masvidal's promotion. You know, he's actually I think he's looked good. I think he's got potential. Brzeski's not bad. He had that win by submission of contender, then had a good stand-up fight in his debut, but still not 100% sure about this guy. I don't know. I thought Williams looked really good in a contender. I'm going to go with Williams, Marcel. That's my pick by decision. Williams lost looked bad in that fight. He did. I agree. Karl opened as a dog. He did. Williams' last 2 opponents have been poor. Best is 5-2. True. No doubt. I just think there's some potential here, but I could be wrong. It's not like I'm not running to the window to bet on this one by any means, but that's my pick, you know. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, Marcel. We got this is the main card, I think, right? Vitor Petrino. Okay, so here's the first fight, guys. Main card, Vitor Petrino. Taking on Anton Turkalj, the Pleasure Man. Odds for this one. I love that nickname, by the way. It's a pickup fight, Marcel, minus 110 each. So I actually want to know who you are picking in this fight because I think this is one of the tougher fights in the card to pick, personally. What do you think?
I actually want to hear your pick first here.
Oh, man. I've been thinking of this one a lot today because it's one of the ones, I always write down my picks before I do the show.
Yeah.
This was the one I'm kind of scratching my head. I really feel I can go either way. I feel like I can. So I kind of forgot who Petrino was. I watched this fight on Fight Pass today. And, it's the Rodolfo Bellato guy. He got dropped early, came back and knocked him out. He actually had a takedown. Then I think he had some his opponent got takedown as well. There was a lot of cage pushing in the fight. It was an exciting fight, but showed some flaws in the game. And Turkalj, I get it. People are down on him because he got destroyed by Jailton. But, he did have 11 takedowns in this fight in contender. So he's got that path to victory just by being boring. This fight can go either way, man. There's no chance I would bet in this fight just because I'm struggling even picking a winner. But if I had to pick someone, Marcel, I would go with Anton Turkalj by decision. That's my pick just because of the grappling. Yeah. I could be wrong, though. He might get knocked out. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly the same as either Petrino with a knockout or Anton Turkalj by a horrible, boring decision. And I think the second thing happens because Petrino, he looked vulnerable against Bellato in that fight, Mm-hmm. And I think Turkalj's going for the for taking him down to the ground.
Yep.
And trying to win there, keeping it boring, and get a decision, get his first win in the UFC. I think it's important after completely getting destroyed by Almeida. Turkalj's decision. I hope Petrino knocks him out, to be really honest, because I don't really like to see a boring decision. But yeah, I think Turkalj wins the fight via decision. I have the exact same thoughts as you about this one. I really was curious what you was going to say, but we have the exact same thing.
No, I guess we have the same thoughts. I still feel like it's kind of a tricky one, though, because guy looked so bad, but I just think losing to Jailton is not a huge deal to me. I think the guy has a good grappling, so it might be enough to win. Beat 4 Petrino's opponents: 0-0, 0-0, 0-6, 117. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's not great. And like I said, he got dropped and taken down in his fight against this Belalfo guy, who, by the way, he's fighting in the LFA card this weekend. I was doing the LFA preview today. That guy's he's in the he's on the prelims of LFA now, the guy he beat. So like I don't know. Undefeated's cashing that. Yeah, they're winning a lot, right? Possible to see pleasure in grinding that shit out. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Having pleasure on his with his takedowns. I'm multi busy in a sec. Want to know if Merab wins. You gotta wait a second, Antoine. We can't skip ahead, man. Even though we like you a lot, we gotta go do the last couple of fights. We're going through this quickly though, Marcel, which is good. All right, Saeed Nurmagomedov against Jonathan Martinez, bantamweight. Saeed minus 225, Martinez plus 175. You're picking this one, Marcel.
Yes. You know, Jonathan Martinez, I've underestimated for a long time. I picked him against Cap Swanson, but for example, I didn't pick him against Dvalishvili when he won. I didn't pick him against Perez, I think. I underestimated him for a long time, and he's pretty decent, pretty good fighter. If you look at Saeed Nurmagomedov, I think it's really good as well. 4-fight win streak, only lost in UFC to Heoni Barcelos, but showed that in his last fight wasn't really good. What I saw, he got completely out grappled pretty much, and then he got out of nowhere. He took the guillotine choke, so he got a Hail Mary sub there. Do I think Martinez can do what Kakramanov did to him? I don't think so. I think Martinez probably tries to. I think his stand-up is good. I think his ground game is good as well. I still think I would favor Saeed Nurmagomedov here, man. Probably a decision win. I'm not going with a finish. I think both guys are really tough. So a decision, but a close fight.
That's how I feel. I honestly feel the exact same way. So it's funny. Last fight you felt the same way, and this one I feel the same way as you. I think it'll be competitive, Marcel. I think it's going to be like maybe a 29-20 decision. I do think Saeed's the better grappler. I think that'll be the winning play for him. I think he'll get a couple takedowns here and there and win a close decision on points. Martinez is a good fighter. He's looked great lately, but I still feel like, Saeed's really good too. And he struggled against Saeed Yoka before the submission, but that showed how dangerous he is. And, I think he's got some power on the feet too, right? Like a little bit underrated on the feet. Be a good fight. I'm going to go with Saeed though. Will Jonathan grapple? I doubt it. I mean, I know he got taken down a lot, Saeed, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, Marcel. I feel like it'd be tough for him to grapple personally. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We got Ricardo Ramos taking on Austin Lingo. Good fight, Marcel, at 145. Your thoughts on this one, my friend? The odds: Ramos, big favorite, minus 250, Lingo plus 260. Your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I feel like Ramos only lost to the guys who he should have lost to the UFC, man. And for Austin Lingo, I know Austin Lingo, he's 1-2 in the UFC, of 2-1 in the UFC. Won his last two fights, were competitive all, I feel like Ricardo Ramos has more ways to win in this fight. I think Lingo can make it difficult for Ramos, but still, man. I mean, Ramos, if he's on, and he can knock you out at any moment. We saw that. Difficult fight, man, to be really honest, man. I don't think Lingo is a world beater, but I don't think Ramos is a world beater either, I think they're really competitive here in this fight. Although I kind of favor Ramos because I think he's a little bit more talented. Does he get a stoppage? Well, I'm going with a decision win for Ramos. Not a stoppage.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Yeah, I think he wins. I think he gets takedowns, Marcel grinds it out. Lingo, he's actually looked decent in the UFC, but I just think this guy is a lot more well-rounded of a fighter than he's fought, like Saldana and Kilburn. Here's the thing, like he has 80% takedown defense, Lingo, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing with that stat. You always have to look at the stats a little closely. So I took it down 6 times, right? I was looking at the stat. I'm like, how is it 80%? And then Kilburn went 1 for 18 on takedowns. But Jacob Kilburn, last time I checked, Marcel, is not really a good, he's not a high-level wrestler, not like a Ramos, not a wrestler, but a grappler, We saw, remember he fought Bill Algeo, got the body lock takedowns a lot, just took him down, That's why I think this fight goes. So you said knockout, you said?
No, decision.
Decision, that's what I'm thinking too. He always has that chance to land that spinning back elbow knockout though, right?
I don't know, man. I really feel like both guys are super tough, I'm not going to get stopped. So I go with, like I said, going with decision, not with his finish here.
With another spinning elbow, it's possible. I mean, the guy is probably the best at it in the UFC besides John Jones.
So. Now, he got 2, right?
He's got 2 of them, man. It's really impressive. All right, we got Nikita Krylov taking on Ryan Spann. This is the rebooking. It's 215-pound catchweight bout, Marcel. So they moved it up 10 pounds, which I think is good because the fight was so close to each other. Krylov minus 180, plus 145 on Span. I picked Krylov. I'm pretty sure you did too, right? The last time.
Yeah, I did. And
yeah. So
change
does it change? Does your thought? Because you got sick, obviously, but
I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it from decision to submission. Submission first or second round for Krylov, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. I think he wins too. Still, I'm not going to change my pick. He did get sick, which is not great, but it doesn't change the hand. How do we even know it's going to affect him?
I didn't change my pick. I've changed the way he's going to win.
I think he finishes him too. I think third round, third or fourth. Anywhere in Span got paid, probably not. I mean, they rebooked it so fast that I doubt it personally. But yeah,
UFC has to invest that money in power slap, Glenn.
The PI. All right, let's go to the next fight here, Marcel. We got Alexander Romanov taking Alexander Volkov, the battle of the Alexes. Romanov is the favorite, minus 165. Volkov plus 135. You're picking this one, my friend?
Yeah, the battle of the Alexanders, like you said, only one Alexander lost an E in his name. Yeah, it's pretty clear cut to me, this one, to be really honest, man. We saw Romanov in his fights, and Romanov after the first round isn't the Romanov which is in the first round, you know? He got gassed badly against Tibura, lost that fight. Should have been maybe a draw, but he lost the fight. Volkov, we know he has the cardio. If he doesn't get put away in the first round, he wins the fight via unanimous decision. So I'm picking Alexander Volkov here.
You know, Marcel, I'm with you. So this is obviously not like an easy fight to cap because the line actually flipped again. Volkov, I think, actually opened as the favorite here. And I get it. Romanov, you know, obviously a good grappler and everything, Marcel, but I was not impressed at all with the Tibura fight.
Same.
And if he doesn't finish him in the first round, I think he's going to show cardio issues. Now, the one thing I was thinking is that fight was at Utah with that elevation in Salt Lake City, so maybe that had a bigger impact than we thought. But against a guy like Volkov, like I still feel like he's definitely got the better striking, and as long as he keeps the fight standing, he wins. I have no doubt about that. Now I know that Assuncao took him down; it was really easy for him. But I don't know if Romanov doesn't finish him, Marcel, I think he's going to be in trouble second and third round. So, yeah, I think it's not like a fight I'm 100% confident in, but I'm leaning towards the underdog too. I'm leaning towards Volkov too. So, I guess we have a second consensus dog, which I wasn't sure about here, Marcel, but we're both picking Volkov. Again, the experience against high-level guys, and I can't pick Romanov after that last fight. It's possible it was the altitude for sure, but man, it didn't look good at all. Romanov also slammed in the Tibura fight. I wonder if he shows up. Yeah. Volkov 4 first-round losses. Romanov here. Possible for sure. What's the problem? Romanov by sub. Is it out? Let me check. Romanov by sub, which is definitely a chance. Plus
minus
250.
Plus.
No. It's not. It's prop. So
obviously.
It'll be yeah. All right. We'll go to the main event now, Marcel. We have Ariane taking on Merab Dvalishvili. Great fight, obviously. Ariane's a big favorite here, Marcel. Minus 250, plus 190 in Merab. Who's your pick, and what do you think of the odds? Pretty heavy favorite.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like this fight. It honestly doesn't make sense, because it makes sense as it doesn't make sense. Because Ariane, with a win, he's not going to fight Sterling for a third time. And with a win, Merab Dvalishvili is not going to fight Aljamain Sterling because it's his training partner and one of his best friends. So, yeah. That's probably why the UFC matched these two against each other. Merab, lots of takedowns all the time. I call him Mr. Duracell. Got the, how do you say that, cardio for ages. The thing is, if you have to do multiple takedowns, that means you cannot control the guy on the ground pretty much, And Jan is not easy to take down. We saw that before. If you can keep the fight standing, he wins this fight. Merab get him down, probably gets him down at some place, but I think Ariane is able to finish the fight here. I'm actually having Jan via knockout in the fourth round or TKO.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, you obviously, what was that fight with Marias, right, where he got dropped in the first round?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's coming into your capping here. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I want to find a reason to pick Merab because the odds are tempting, right? Plus 190, almost plus 200, and he's on an 8-fight win streak. The wrestling is great. The cardio. I just think Jan matches up really well against him.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right? It's all matchups because I get it, guys. Sterling got him down a couple times and was able to hold him and win the fight that way, and then obviously he lost to O'Malley in that close fight. But I just think he is 1-3 in his last 4, but like the losses are so controversial in my opinion. I think he could easily be, 3-0.
He could be 4. Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like Ariane is still. Listen, that's just my opinion.
Elite.
I feel like he's still the best fighter in the division, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't think you're crazy saying that. I don't think it's crazy because most people thought he beat O'Malley and even Sterling. I mean, that fight was super close, right? So, and then the DQ in a fight he was dominating the other fight. So, I mean, like, I'm not ready to give up on this guy. He's crazy enough. He's still, I believe, the younger fighter. He's 29, right? So, or he's 30. He just turned 30. So, Merab's not old by any means. He's 32. He's not old, but Peter is super young, man. Still, and obviously so many 5-round fights, Marcel. That's another thing I like about him, the 5-round fights. I love that about him, right? So Merab to me is still a little bit unproven against the elite guys. I know he beat Aldo, but that's an Aldo that retired right after the fight. He struggled that with Moraes. He's still got a path with the grappling, Marcel. If you can get takedowns here, you can obviously win the fight. If you can push him against the fence. But I feel like he's going to struggle doing that. I think Jan will be able to win this fight. Keep it upright. You said knockout. I was thinking decision, but I think a knockout's possible too. But yeah, I think he wins the fight. So it's hard to go against him. I get it. People are going to be tempted to take the underdog money on Merab, and it's tempting, Marcel. It really is. But at the end of the day, I do think that that Jan's going to win. So yeah, that's my pick. Let's get some comments here. Merab wins. I'm cool watching him move the power slap. All right, well, we'll hold it to you, Juan. Who is the
I mean, you can immediately go to it if it happens because it's right after it. So, I mean,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Got a couple other comments. Mariah's clipped Merab badly in their fight. If Jan clips Merab, it ends differently. I think he can get the job done, possibly. Who's more deserving a title with a win? Or Cody Marlin? Corey Sanhagen Marlin. Merab would be deserving if he wins the fight. Merab doesn't have Aldrich control, and Peter has the best takedown defense. Agreed, 90%, and it's against a high level of grapplers too, like a Sterling. Merab at 200, he couldn't finish Sterling or O'Malley. I don't see why people think he can finish Merab. Stronger, better career than Sterling O'Malley. Don't think you're wrong there, but still not 100% sure, Marcus. I know you really like him here, Marcus. I get it. The odds are tempting, but I got to go with Jan. Merab's chinny, Marcus. Look at Marius. Yeah. Jan doesn't hit as hard as Marius. I mean, he hits pretty fucking hard, man. I think. Marcus, please don't eat your money betting Merab. Yeah. Big Romanov doesn't train with the coach anymore than I do his training. Do you know, Marcel?
No idea.
Big Romanov? Big Alexander?
No idea.
Can we call him Big Alexander?
Yeah, you can.
What's his nickname? King Kong?
King Kong, yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Anything else with this card, Marcel? I mean, I think it's going to be,
They should do Romanov against Dontel Mace. You got King Kong against Lord Kong.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting, actually. That's funny. For the sake of Jan's mental health, I hope he wins. I'll take Merab, that dog money. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't blame you necessarily, But, yeah. All right, Marcel, that's it for this preview. UFC Las Vegas. Let's just do Bellator quickly, Marcel. There is a Bellator card this weekend. Just a couple fights
put it
here.
on the screen?
Sure. Pull it up here, guys. Got Bellator 288. I'll pull it up for you.
I won't say it this time.
Sorry, Bellator 292. I said the wrong one.
No, I don't want to say it this time. I won't.
Say what?
As long as you don't pull it off. There, I said it again.
Oh, God. You dirty guy. All right, one sec. I'm sorry, guys. Just finding the button here. All right, here we go.
That's what she said.
Benson Henderson, Usman Nurmagomedov. Usman is minus. Let's see the odds right now, guys. Let me double check because I know it's okay. Open at minus 1,000. Now it's minus 2,000. That's a plus 1,400. I mean, he's obviously going to win the fight. The question is he finish or decision? I think he finishes him. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I think so too.
I mean, he wins the fight. He's going to move on to the next tournament. The line is high, guys, but there's no way in heck I would pick Benson Henderson to beat Usman. There's no way. There's no real reason to, right, Marcel? Except you're being tempted by the odds, which again, that can tempt the devil, right? The odds sometimes. And man, if he fucking pulls it off plus 1,400, you're gonna be eating lobster for dinner tonight, right? Or on Saturday. But I don't think he wins, Marcel. Next fight, Tofik Musayev against Alexander Shebly. Your boy Shebly, Marcel, minus 145 favorite. Musayev plus 115. I know he's good, Marcel, but I really like Musayev too. So what do you think about this one, man?
Chablis wins the fight, man. He's overall better on the ground, I think.
There
is a fun fight. Is a very good fighter, but I'm picking Chablis here, man.
There you go.
Pretty convinced, actually.
Really? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Next fight, Valentin Moldavsky against Linton Vassal. Moldavsky minus 300, Vassal plus 240. Moldavsky should probably grind him out, right?
Yeah, I don't really care about Moldavsky. Yeah.
Michael Page, this is a good fight. Michael Page against Goiti Yamauchi. Page minus 125. It actually went down, opened at minus 175. Yamauchi minus 105. I mean, I think Page is so overrated. Is Yamauchi the guy to beat him, though?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. But, yeah, I don't know. Yamauchi has a nice 3 going on.
He looked great against Neiman, man. That knockout was nice. That was actually last summer. Holy shit, it's been a while. You know what, Marcel?
You're going with Yamauchi.
He's the better MMA fighter. He's the better overall fighter.
I agree.
So I'll go with Yamauchi. So you're picking Page?
No.
Pick Yamauchi.
I'm thinking I'm with you, I think.
Page, man. Enrique Barzola against Eric Perez is a good fight. I like Barzola, though. He is the favorite.
Me too.
I think. He's favored at minus.
With the wrestling.
Yeah, where the fuck are the odds for this? Oh, okay. They got a fixed best fight odds, man. Like, the odds are in different order. Minus 275 Marcel.
All right.
Josh Hill should win this fight. He's minus 425. He should win. Khalid Mirzataliev, I think, wins this fight too. He is minus 300. I think he wins, Marcel. I know
he hopes probably Herb Dinisarev.
This fight's kind of interesting. Julius Anglikas and what's his name? Dolvech and Yazimegurov. Who do you like in this one? Julius minus 150 favorite. You like him there, or?
I think Julius can pull it off, yeah. But Davlets and Yakhchimuradov, he's pretty decent as well. Yeah. So fun fight, man. Probably going with Anglikas, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we got the next one is this guy really Bobby Serenino. Like, you talk about inflated betting odds. Every fight he's getting cans and minus 800. Marcel, he's obviously going to win. They love this guy for some reason. They absolutely love him.
Not really familiar with many of these other guys, to be really honest.
I don't know a lot of these guys either. I do know this Vladimir, just because of his picture, it's Wilson, him, like, doing a selfie at AKA.
And it sounds like Wilson Gouveia, right?
A little bit, the former UFC fighter. Yeah, I mean, he was like, what was he in his debut? Minus 300. Now he's minus 800. Yeah, he'll win. The thing is, when they have these odds so crazy in the prelims, guys, like, that they've talked to the matchmakers and they're like, hey, who's going to win the fight? Like, the odds makers do like talk to like the matchmakers, do like interviews with them to know kind of who they're thinking will win, especially on like these unknown fighters. This guy too, this Theo Hay guy apparently is really good. Marcel, I've heard good things about him. Anyways, yeah, that's it for that. There's also
fight announcements.
Yeah, there's a PFL card this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Have I even looked at it yet? Let me take a look. Impa's on the card. Okay, Impa Kasangan is fighting Taylor Johnson, Tombstone, know him.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume if Impa wins in the press of fashion, he'll probably get the contract, right? That'd be my guess. I don't know a lot of these guys. I think this over guy, I want to say he's LFA. Was he? Yeah, LFA. I remember him a little bit. Yeah, obviously not the biggest names, but it's worth talking about. And there is an LFA card. All right, let's do some fight announcements.
Probably Impa or Taylor Johnson, one of the two, probably.
Sorry?
Well, going to be probably Impa or Taylor Johnson, who's getting a contract, I think.
I think so, too. All right, you want to do a couple of fight announcements really quick?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do something. Let me write this down.
Like Max Holloway would say, let's go.
All right, let's do it. Big Marcel. Like 10 minutes of this and get out of here. 5-10 minutes. All right. All right. Oops. Here we go. So this fight's official now. Jairzinho goes in striking. Jelton made it. I think Jelton be favored, right?
Mm-hmm. I would think so, yeah.
I mean, how do you pick against him right now? But Jairzinho obviously got a lot of power. Big boy. They call him Biggie Boy. I think it'll be hard to get down to the ground, but once he gets down, it's going to be hard for him to get back up. I'm still not sure if Jelton should be fighting a heavyweight, though, But I think he wins.
I'll tell you something about it after the podcast.
Okay, let's do that. All right, go to a couple other fights. Julio Rosa, Fernando Padilla. I don't really understand the matchmaking here. I mean, this guy is new to the UFC. He's the Fury champ, I want to say. But, Rosa, I know he lost his last fight, but he's been on a fucking roll since coming back to the UFC. I thought he would have got someone that's more name value. Honestly, Marcel, even though Rosa's a guy I don't really pick that often because of the chin, I would still have to favor him because of the experience now. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I
don't really understand this fight, to be honest with you. You?
No.
I don't understand the matchmaking. Okay, let me get a comment here. There was a comment. Any truth to Tony and Kevin Lee too? Is there a rumor?
No idea.
No idea. Impa's look good since the UFC. Yeah, I think he won in that XMA promotion. Didn't he beat Jared Gooden? Is that
yeah, right? I think he did. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Thoughts on Till leaving? Oh, that's a good question, Glenn. Well, he asked for his release. Like Dana White confirmed that. I think he was going to get cut either way, though. So it's almost like better they came out like this way. Like I asked for my release. I mean, they might have kept on because he's popular, but yeah, you know what, man? Like I think he'll probably go to BKFC and make some money. It looks like what he's going to do. He says he'll be back in the UFC in like 2 or 3 years. I doubt it, Marcel. I think he's gone. I think he's going to go to BKFC or boxing and make some money and then retire. You know, it's a young man's game. You know, he's taking a lot of damage, man.
Rocco Perry Alvarez.
God damn it! I mean, that's what I'm saying though. They'll sign anyone. They are losing state. Rosa debut is tough. Jilton, poor man's Jones. What was that?
That was something that fell here. Nothing.
Okay, light heavyweight exposing bad grappling. Yeah, Jilton should win that fight. Jessica Andrade and Jen and yeah, I mean we were talking about who she should fight next, and this is the fight. I don't know what to think about Andrade after the last performance, but it's hard for me to get too down or short notice and took on a beast. So I guess I'd still favor Andrade here, but it's an interesting fight. Any thoughts?
Yeah, me too. She took it on short notice, like you said, that this is her normal weight class. So yeah,
exactly. All right, a couple other fights here, Marcel. Manuel Torres against Trey Ogden. Manuel Torres wins.
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking to bet him? Hopefully the odds are good. Probably not. Ron Yaya, Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson's going to be a huge favorite in this fight.
Yeah.
And Ron Yaya, he better not pull out of this one. Cody Durden and Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson's fighting like every other weekend, it seems like.
He does, yeah.
He fights a lot. Didn't look amazing in the last fight against Ode, but it was short notice. Cody Durden's looked decent in the UFC. I don't know. This one's close.
And those two don't like each other.
They don't like each other, right? Okay.
No.
I think Johnson will be favored, but it's competitive. Devin Clark and Kenny and Chekwu. Interesting fight, man. I mean, Clark looked great against Dao and Jung, like really, really good. Surprised me. And then Cannetti looked amazing against Ion, who obviously is an overrated kind of, one-round guy. I don't know. This one's tough. I don't know. I really don't know about this one. Any thoughts?
This is the decision between Fortis MMA and Devin Clark. Clark is 1-1 against Fortis MMA.
Is he?
Yeah, he lost to Manifield. He won against Manifield and lost to Span. So That's right. So this will break the tie. Okay, let's see what happens there. Oh, I liked when you tweeted this. The battle of Petros. Yeah.
Wachowski, Armor Trojan. I mean, striker grappler, right, Marcel?
Yeah.
And do you think if you think Andre can get the fight to the ground,
they can
dominate. But if he can, he'll be fucked on the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about this one, obviously broke it down. Gunnar Nelson, Brian Barberine. I don't know if we might have talked about this one already. This was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's funny though. Best Fight Odds posted the odds from the Dana Rodriguez fight today. Everyone's scratching their head like, did they rebook this? No, they just screwed up.
No, you saw on the broadcast last Saturday, the UFC showed the graphic with still Gunnar Nelson.
Oh, that's why then. That's why they put it back up. That's so stupid. That fight's not happening. Cody Stamen, Douglas Silva, Andrade. Good fight, Marcel. Two veterans. Really like this fight. Talk about this one. I feel like we got most of these. I do. We talked about it. We talked about these. So send that. Anyways, I think we got a couple questions and we'll get out of here. You guys surprised fighters like Shang, Nunez, Pena, and Kamzat not been booked for a fight. Buddy, I agree, Marcel. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like, where's Hamzat? Where the fuck is he? We haven't heard anything about this guy. Where is he? What happened to him? He goes out there and has that amazing win over what's it called?
Karl.
Yeah, he looked incredible, right? And then all of a sudden, like he's just not fighting anymore. It's just really, really fucking strange, to be honest with you. So I don't know, man. I mean, he's great, but I'm just a little confused by it, to be honest with you. I want to see him fight again. He's an absolute monster, and he should be fighting. So I'm really confused. Who headlines? Oh, that's going to be Jones and Stipe. I would say. Surprised Marcel doesn't have to pee. He actually brought the pee bottle this time. You want to show it?
Why? Why? You want to see my cock?
No, but we want to see the bottle. Don't show it to Tabitha Ricci though, Marcel. She won't talk to you again.
she already never did it. So,
anyways, it's funny. I actually have to pee. It's just funny this time because I drank this Monster last week. Marcel was drinking a Monster on the podcast, and then I had one in my fridge, and I'm like, I'm going to drink a Monster now. So, anyways,
he's drinking a Monster, and he has to empty his Monster.
I got to go take a pee on the Monster. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it, Marcel. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Or are you good? Because I feel like we're good.
You feel like you have to pee.
I do, but I can still hang on for a minute here. I'm not like you. I don't have a bottle next to me, but just in case But anything else you wanted to talk about, man? Or are you good? Or
No, I'm not gonna talk about my loop. So no, I'm just
God.
no,
What is with this guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Freaking guy. Gross guy.
You started.
Yeah, some people in the comments are laughing. Do you think we get paid in US3? I hope not, man. You want to see it, Marcel, or no?
No, I don't have any Vaseline at all. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have to see it.
Oh my God, what is with this dude? What is with this guy?
Nothing, man. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, you're funny. I hope not, Marcus, personally, but
Nah.
I hope not. All right. Anyways, I think that's good. I think we're good, Marcel.
I think Peña already was lucky to get a title shot, and she did the best. She won that fight, so they did the rematch. Yep. Don't see the third fight, to be really honest, man.
You got 2 fights out of it and made some money and won the belt, but yeah, I'm not too interested, Marcel, in the third fight personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anyways, let's get out of here, Marcel. I think that's good for today's show, guys. Appreciate it. You guys can follow me on Twitter at MMAdamMartin and him at Big Marcel 24, Instagram and Twitter. We'll be back next Monday, guys, for the recap of UFC Las Vegas and then previewing UFC London. Crazy, Marcel. That second pay-per-view comes out so quick. But be back next week, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the fights. Peace.